Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to another new series. So, we were gonna do Water Park Simulator today. Jesus Christ, why did I do that? I kind of stuttered a little bit. I decided we're almost done with that one. I'm kind of gonna stop the playthrough when we hit 5 stars, and then do a little bit of my own and revisit it maybe in a couple months when I put a lot of work into it and kind of unlock everything, and then we'll see how that goes, and that'll probably be the final one. So we'll do like a 5-star playthrough somewhere this week, because we're almost there. I think we're at 4 stars, and then we'll revisit again in a couple months, do one last video, and unless they add anything new or any more stars or any other unlocks or stuff, we will probably leave it there. I was going to start Laundry Simulator, but those games are long and addicting, so I said, well, wait. I did say we would do YAKUZA 6 this month, though. We are halfway through the month. I think it's time to knock this out of the way. We're still doing Marvel Tokon. We've got, I think, 2 more teams. We got the X-Men team and the Knights of Doom. We could do that tomorrow. That's 2 teams. Well, what's tomorrow? Thursday? We'll probably do it Friday. Yeah, we'll do it Friday, because I don't have a lot of time today, so today's video is going to be very short. It's going to be about an hour, and then we'll do a lot more tomorrow. So instead of doing Marvel Tokon tomorrow, which we would have done if we did Water Park today, we're going to do this today. We're going to get it started with a nice little intro, about an hour, and then we're going to do a lot more tomorrow. And then when we're done with this game, we're going to go back. If we're not done with Tokon, we'll finish Tokon. We're going to probably do Tokon. In the next video, we'll do the Knights of Doom and the Wolverine. And I'm going to try to take a break on that until I get the whole combat kind of down 100%. And then we'll probably do some online matches. So we'll probably won't revisit that till September. Maybe October, because September has a lot of games. But I'll try to do 1 or 2 videos in September. And then yeah, once we get 5 stars on Water Park, we're going to take a break on a minute for that as well. Hopefully by the time all those happen, YAKUZA is either done or almost done. Towards the end of the year, we can do YAKUZA 7 and Man Who Erased His Name. We'll probably do YAKUZA 7 in November. We can do Man Who Erased His Name in November or December. And then we could do Infinite Wealth in December as well. Or not. We'll figure it out. I just wanted to kind of finish the series before Stranger Than Heaven came out in January. But if not, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. But yeah, YAKUZA 6. I mentioned to you, if you've watched me for a while now, I've mentioned this is my favorite one. You're about to see why. Or maybe you disagree. I mean, everyone has different opinions on what they like and what they don't like, right? So, this one is very emotional. So prepare yourselves, I guess, a little warning. Let's hop in. I'm doing a continue because I'm doing it off a New Game Plus. I'm not doing a new game. That would make it a whole lot harder. So, I guess let's do this one. I don't want spoilers, so hopefully yes, let's start a new game. Some of those final bosses are annoying. Fuck it, let's do normal. We'll make that a new save data. But, yeah. So, what the hell happened? Alright, for anyone wondering, once again, we're going to do YAKUZA today. Quick intro, because I only have about an hour. And then we're going to do more YAKUZA tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yes. On Friday, we'll finish up Marvel Tokon. And we'll take a break, maybe till about September, maybe October, depending on how busy we get with the other new releases. I want the audio to play out, so I'm going to pause to finish up what I was saying. But maybe September, maybe October, depending on how busy September is. We'll try to do some online matches at Tokon. I just want to learn 100% how to play certain characters to be able to do online. Probably do one or two online videos. We'll see how that works, how it does, and then we'll move on. And then, so yeah, tomorrow, not tomorrow. Friday will be Tokon. Saturday will be water park. Hopefully, we hit 5 stars in there. I'm gonna really try to focus on that, and then we'll take a break on that for a while, see what else they add and the updates they change. And then hopefully we're done with this, if not really close. We'll finish this up, and then we're kind of getting to the beginning of September, which is Halloween. I'm really excited for the Halloween game. So there's that. Yeah, lots to do. So stay tuned for that. I do have a really bad cough. You're gonna have to excuse me. And we are still planning on doing the Walking Dead Telltale Definitive series, so all 4 seasons. That will come later, probably in November, because November only has 1 game releasing. So adding a couple games to that month makes it easier. And I do want to do all 4 games back to back, so there's that. Yeah, we still got the Yakuza series going. Next year, we're going to start up our Halo series and all the other new games at the beginning of the year. Stay tuned. Lots of content. Let's hop in. Sorry for the intro. It's a lot.
ねえ、大丈夫ですか？例のやつ、そろそろ時間なんじゃ。
いや、まだいいだろう。俺がこいつをゆっくり味わってからだ。
おう、表出や桐生。踊るはこの店にもう顔見せんな言うたじゃろうが。
うちのお客に勝手なこと言わないでくれる？
こいつよりわしの方が常連じゃろうが。ママはどっちの方が大事なんじゃ？お？今度こそ白黒つけちゃるけえの。おう、はよついてこい。なんすかしとんじゃ。
ちょっと南雲くん。
あ、いや、また後で弁償するけんの。ごめんってキヨちゃん。
すぐに戻る。
かばちたれが二度とここに顔出せないようにしちゃるわ。また後で来るけの。ほいじゃ。覚悟はええか。おう、ええ加減なめとったらどえらい目に遭うっちゅうことを教えちゃるわ。念仏でも唱えとけ。わしもの惚れた女の前でコケにされたままじゃかっこつかんけえの。広島ヤクザ敵に回したんが運のつきじゃ。すかした顔してなめ腐ってから踊りゃ。
おい、
なんじゃ。
あまり時間がねえ。早いとこ済ませてんだがな。
なんならそんなに死に急ぎたいっちゅうわけかの。
いいからさっさとかかってこい。お前の脳が効いてるとこっちの予定が狂っちまう。
そんじゃったら安心せえ。今日から先踊れの予定は全部白紙じゃ。はあ、ぶち殺したるけの。
I had to let that play out because that was such a nice intro. So This game does something a lot similar to a lot of other modern games. I don't know if this was the first one that started it, probably not, but they're telling you a story right here in the intro that is like a good 5 to 7 hours in the game. This is not how the game initially starts off. It's like gonna show something and then it's gonna go like, 6 months later or something, like, and you're gonna have to see the lead up to it and you're gonna understand the context. You're gonna learn why Kiryu's here. You're gonna learn about Nagamo. You're gonna learn all the context, and Kiryu being old in this game is just crazy. Like, because in 5 we just saw him as like a young guy. Again, this is my favorite one. You're gonna see why. From the combat to the cool stuff, it's really good. Welcome back, Simba fan. What's one question I'm interested in seeing? Sparrow. Why was Sparks absent from the reveal trailer? I don't know, maybe because they wanted to focus on Spyro? I don't know. Maybe he's not in the game. Who knows? It's made by a different creator. Toys for Bob made the remakes, right? Or the remaster of the trilogy, and they're making this game. The original creator who made the Spyro games wasn't Toys for Bob. It was Insomniac. I think it was, which was the ones who made the Marvel Spider-Man games. They made Resistance, which is such a great series. I have all 3 games on my PS3. They made the originals. Toys for Bob helped them to port it with the remasters. Let me see. Real quick. I like to get my facts right. Yes, the original Spyro games were made by Insomniac Games. So yeah, they made the original games with PlayStation. They were PlayStation exclusive games, starting with the first game on the PlayStation 1 in 1998. And then Spyro 2 on the PS1, following in 1999. And Spyro You're the Dragon, which I'm assuming is the third one, in 2000. So yeah. Insomniac made the original games, and they had no involvement with the ports for like the remastered trilogy. It was just Toys for Bob that helped do that. And this is Toys for Bob's first crack at making a Spyro game. Insomniac has no like input on this, I think, from what I know. So it's just Toys for Bob. Now, that's another reason why I'm a little skeptical. I'm like, dude, it's one thing to make a remake or a remaster and port it over to a newer console. That's easy. Any company could do that as long as as long as you know what you're doing. It's easy to just take a game that exists, just make it look better, make it run better. It's really easy. But to make a game, a new game, also to make a new game when they don't know the original creative vision of the original 3 games is going to be a little hard. So I'm hoping they do it right. I mean, a port, of course it's good. They can't mess that up, but to make an original game when they didn't work on the originals, I just hope they do it right. I mean, based off of that reveal trailer, he looks good. Are the maps going to be good? Is Sparks going to be in the game? What is the story they're going to tell? Are they going to implement new abilities? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's why I'm waiting for the gameplay trailer. I'm not really one of those people that watch a lot of cinematics unless the game looks so freaking good that I need cinematics. But for a Spyro game or even a Crash game, I could watch one cinematic trailer or like a reveal trailer. And then after that, I want to see gameplay. For those types of games, platformers and stuff, I'm fine with one cinematic, and then I want to see gameplay, because that's going to determine whether I pick up a game or not. Like, the same thing goes for SpongeBob. I'm fine with one cinematic. I don't need to know the story. It's SpongeBob. I'm going to love it no matter what, right? I need to see the gameplay. Because if I had seen the gameplay for the Patrick game, I would have never bought that game. That was ass. I'm sorry. Because when I saw the reveal trailers and stuff for the Patrick Star game, I thought it was like the Battle for Bikini Bottom, the Titans of the Tide. I thought it was that Cosmic Shake. I thought it was that type of gameplay. Like, you still have the story and the worlds and the exploring, but you're just Patrick. If you guys watch me play that, that's not the case. You're dropped into one part of Bikini Bottom, and you play as Patrick and only Patrick, and you're basically doing fetch quests and, you know, helping people out quests the whole game. And there's a shit ton of collectibles. That's it. The story is so tiny. The story is literally to just help everyone out and get enough like medals to join like a championship where you do like a cook-off or something, and you just prove you're the best. It's so boring. It's so stupid. It's like, I feel like that would work better as a SpongeBob episode rather than a video game. And again, SpongeBob's in the game. You can go over to his house. You can say hi to him. I think he has like 2 quests you need to help him with, but that's it. It's actual ass how bad that game was. Oh, I love SpongeBob and I love Patrick, but that game was bad. I do have faith the game will be great. I hope so. I mean, like I said, it's one thing to port over games to a console, but they've never worked on a Spyro game. This is the first Spyro game they're making that's going to be their own. The other 3 were made by Insomniac, and all the spin-offs on the DS and stuff were Insomniac. So I don't know how they're going to come up with a good enough story. I need a good enough story. I do need new mechanics and new abilities. Like, it's a new Spyro game. I expect that. It depends if, you know, Sparks is going to be there, or they're going to replace him with, like, another Dragonfly. Who knows? The world, you know, all the different worlds we visit, are those entertaining enough to grab attention? And then the characters we meet along the way. Like, I think all of that put together is what makes a great Spyro game. So if they can get all those correct, by all means, they did a successful job. But we don't know that yet. We don't know until we see gameplay, and we don't know until we get our hands on. So hopefully, for all the Spyro fans out there that are excited for a new Spyro game, hopefully they get it right. Well, I mean, that game was not made by THQ Nordic. Of course it's ass. Was it not? Let me see. Hold on. I have the disc right here. Let's see. Wait, so you're telling me THQ Nordic made the Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, the Cosmic Shake, and Titans of the Tide, but didn't make this one? Why? That's stupid. Let me see. Patrick Star. That is the most cringiest and most stupidest game developer name I've ever heard. What the hell is OG Games? I have to look up later if they've ever made any other games. It says it's made by OG Games, and in the back of the OG is pronounced Outright Games. I've never heard that company before, which means this is probably their first like port game. I thought it was still made by THQ. I'm so surprised. I should have known. I actually should have known. I didn't know it wasn't made by THQ. I think I'm like one of those fans that went in assuming, hey, it's a new SpongeBob game. It's got to be made by the same company that made the last ones. I was wrong in thinking that. All right, let's play this scene out. Obviously, we whooped his butt.
よーし、わかった。そしたら第1ラウンド終了じゃ。わしも体が温まってきたけ。こっからが本番じゃ。
お遊びにはもう十分付き合ってやった。
今のは肩慣らしじゃ言うとろうが。
いい加減にしやがれ。俺にはもう時間がねえんだ。
なんなら
遊び相手なら他のやつを当たれ。お前と違って俺は忙しい。
Damn, bro said I ain't got no time for this.
おかえりなさい。
どうにか間に合ったな。
ええ。さあ、桐生さん、これ。
That's the only thing I never liked about gaming is that the smaller games have to avoid major games that have any success. Well, this is because like the majority of people, unfortunately, the majority of gamers um are like they stick with what's popular. Unfortunately. But popularity is what people are just drawn to. Why do you think so many people growing up want to be famous or they want to be celebrities or a famous singer, a famous dancer? Because that's what most people are drawn to. Um, but you know, unfortunately, that causes, like you said, other smaller companies or anyone new that's trying to enter whatever game, whether it's a movie, a new movie director has a lot of weight on his shoulders because maybe his trailers look good, but if the movie is ass, it's going to be very hard for anyone to reach out to him and say, "Hey, I want you to direct my movie," or "You should make your own movies. Maybe you're good enough." Like they're going to struggle in the industry. This is just normal, unfortunately, for life because they have so much weight to put out something good so they can get hired by so many more companies if their product is good, right? Or a new singer. You have to, tone your voice so you sound different from every other singer that exists to draw attention. Like, it's just anyone new in anything struggles. That's just how it is. So if you're a small gaming company in this example, you need to make your game stand out. So even though if you're small, you gain enough attention that people buy your game, they play it, they review it well because they enjoy it, whatever the case may be, and you get more eyes on you. And the more successes you have like that, you go from small to being big or like well known, right? Back in the PS1, PS2 era, Insomniac didn't make a lot of games. I'm gonna be honest. I think it was Spyro. They did the Resistant games. They did like another couple spin-offs that kind of were bad, but they weren't big. And over the years, they've helped publish, produce, and made other games like Ratchet and Clank and stuff. And they've turned into a bigger company. I mean, hell, I think when people think Insomniac now, they think Marvel Spider-Man games, but they made Spyro. They made Ratchet and Clank. I'm pretty sure that was them. Yeah, that was them. They have other great games out there other than Spider-Man. I'm not saying don't play Spider-Man, you know. Play Spider-Man, but try their other games because they're good as well. They were a small company and they got big. The same thing goes with a lot of other smaller companies. So, you just got to put your foot out into the world. You got to put out good shit. And if you do that, you'll gain attention from people and then you'll make it big. But initially, the initial grind of being a small company growing big is what's hard. And in this case, if Toys for Bob knocks this game out of the park, they're going to want them to make more Spyro games, right? And then who knows, maybe another animator who's trying to make an animated game like this, like a little platformer or something, says, hey, we want you to direct these games. And then they get, more attention. Eventually they'll be one of the bigger platformer gamers. Because, like, the ones I think of are the Ori ones, which are great, Hollow Knight, Castlevania is a platformer. Like those are the ones I think, right? But they were small too at some point. So hopefully this does well, and we'll see. I've been waiting for Spiral Realm Beyond since 2018. Well, we didn't know what it was called until recently, but from what I heard, they haven't really been working on it that long, which worries me because I'm like, okay, are they going to finish it in time for next year? Or because they haven't been working on it long, they delay it. I hope it doesn't get delayed, but I have a feeling it just might. Because I've heard they've only been working on it for like almost 3 years. 2.5, 3 years. Which, I mean, you could be like, oh, well, it's a platformer game. Those are easy to make. No, actually, they're not. I've mentioned before, I did game design in college. They're not easy. You know, even if you get a license to do it and stuff like that, you still need like a good 3 to 4 year life cycle to make any game. And if you're making one of those big AAA games, for anyone who never wondered how, because I know people talk about like, oh man, getting a freaking God of War game every 6 years, that's ridiculous. I hate to tell you this, even though I agree that it's ridiculous, unfortunately, those big games and getting those voice actors and stuff that are probably voice acting other characters in other games, they're not easy. So yeah, 6 years for a big AAA game is 100% believable. I'm surprised it's not longer. Like, it actually does take that long because you have to make sure all schedules align. You have to make sure they know the story. You have to test the story to see if it works. You have to mocap. Like, everything takes a lot of time, right? And then you also want to figure out a schedule that works good, not just for the company releasing it, but in the industry, which is the gaming industry. You don't want to release a big game like that around a lot of other big games because you're going to be fighting them all just to win, right? So, it's a lot of process to making a game, whether it's small or big. So the fact that they've only been working on it for like 2 to 2.5 years, I'm like, either it's gonna come out and it's gonna be good, but it's not really gonna have a lot of new stuff. It might look nice, but it's just gonna be like another Spyro game, but not a new Spyro game. I want this to be a new Spyro game. The first good start is the design. I like the difference. I like that it looks a little updated. Um, the next is seeing how we go from Spyro 3, which was a console one, not the spin-offs, to Spyro Run Beyond. How much are they going to make it different? Because I think you need to make it drastically different. We haven't had a new Spyro game in a long time. Like a new one. I don't think the remasters of the trilogy count. I don't think the Spyro Racing counts. We haven't had a new Spyro game since 2000, technically. I mean, the spin-offs don't count, but, you know, we need this game to be drastically different from any Spyro game we've ever played because it's been so long. So they need to show that there's a lot of, like, updates since the last time we've seen Spyro and played with him. You know what I mean? So I hope they can do it right. I'm pretty sure they got a lot of ideas cooking up. Hopefully they work, but we'll have to see. I'm excited. I'm really. You don't count 2018 Reignited? No, because it's just a remaster of old games that came out in 1998, 98, 99, and 2000. They're the same games. They just look better, and they probably run smoother. They're not new games. That's like taking I'm trying to think. Okay, that's like taking The Last of Us remastered on the PS4 and then the PS5 version of The Last of Us Part 1. They're the same game. One is on PS5, one's on PS4. That's the only difference. It looks better on PS5, it runs better on PS5, cool. But again, they're the same game. Same story, same customizing thing, all that. Same voice actors. It's not a different game. So, no, I do not count Reignited Trilogy. It's the same game. It's the same game. I do not count it. But yeah, it's been such a long time since we've had a Spyro game. They need to knock it out of the park. I hope they do. Based off of the teaser trailer, I have really high hopes because that looks good. Then again, that was a teaser. It wasn't even a full trailer. I think it was like, what, 5-10 seconds? I need more. I need more. And I really, really hope that my expectations are met. Because I'm excited. Really excited. Kind of like how I was when they announced Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. That was a new one. And we haven't had a Ratchet game since the PS3. Well, you can get the PS4 one, which is based off of the movie. But again, it's kind of like a remake of the first game. So I don't count it. But the last Ratchet and Clank game we had was the PS3. So when they announced a new one for the PS5, I was excited. And it did meet my expectations. I mean, Reignited was pretty successful. Right. It was successful, but I'm not counting it off of success. I'm counting it off of a new game. The last mainline Spyro game we had was Spyro Year of the Dragon, which came out in 2000. This is the next Spyro game after that that's going to be mainline. Okay? So, I'm not counting the spin-offs and shit. If that was the case, I'd be counting all the spin-offs that were on the DS, the Game Boy. Those aren't canon. Those are like side stories for Spyro that are cool, but they're not the main storyline. So, which is why a lot of those abilities he got in that game are not in the main ones, because those were like, in a way, those were just fun little stories to have, but they weren't like in the main timeline. This is going to be in the main timeline. The last main timeline game we got was 2000 with Spyro Year of the Dragon. So this has like a lot it needs to take on. I don't know how they're going to connect it to Year of the Dragon. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if they're going to explain. I know some games will be like, hey, it's been like a decade. And really, it has been a decade since they made the game. And in their new game, they'll put that. They're like, it's been a decade since we last seen each other. What happened? I don't know if they'll do something like that. I don't think they need to, but I think they need to explain what happened with Year of the Dragon leading into this new game. And then, you know, they have to have a good story, characters, all that stuff, because there was a lot of side characters in the Spyro games that I thought were boring. My favorite one is the Doctor, and then the Fox guy or whatever he is, and the girl, I forgot. I grew to like the bunny girl, but she was only in the third game, so I can't really count her. But yeah. I hope it's good. That's all I hope. The only reason I count Reignited is because Toys for Bob have stated A Realm Beyond is launched from Reignited. Well, yeah. Because they're following the story of Reignited, which was the original 3. Which, again, if you don't count the remaster, the original 3 that are in the remaster were 98, 99, and 2000. The last game we got was 2000. So they brought back the trilogy, saw how well it did. Same thing with the Spyro games, the Crash games. They brought back the original 3 games. I'm going to let this play out while I talk. But they brought back the original 3 games. And they saw how they did. They did really well. And they're like, yo, we want to make a 4th game. Let's make a 4th game. And Activision signed on it. And they're like, yeah, go ahead, do it. And then they made it, and that was a success as well. So they ported over the Spyro, or Crash Racing, Crash Team Rumble, like, which again, those aren't new games. They're old games that just got scaled up with more smoother gameplay, graphics and stuff like that, and there you go. This is also how Yakuza 5 ended. But yeah, I don't really count it as a new game, so we'll have to see. Vampire reminds me of Yakuza. Oh, hell no. I have to pause. No, they're nothing similar. I'll give you a great example. Vampire is an RPG. Yakuza is not an RPG. Well, at least not Yakuza 1 through 6 and The Man Who Erased His Name. Infinite Wealth and 7 are. So, no, I wouldn't really say that because they're two different genres of games. And Vampire's story was kind of boring. I'm not going to lie, I love the gameplay. I love how the game played, and I love how badass you felt as a vampire, but the story was ass. By the time I beat the game, I was like, that's it? It was literally lame. I'm sorry. I love that game, though, but it was a bad story. I told you that, right? Wait, what? I told you that? No, this is the first time I'm hearing it. Just small map in a real-world city, no vehicles. There's vehicles in this game. They can only be used during, like, cutscenes, though. You can't actually walk up into them. And it looks like a small map for the Yakuza games, but trust me, when you go around it, it's actually a pretty decently sized map. Another reason I feel Spyro Realm Beyond will be great is just how passionate. Well, you can be passionate and still make a game that a lot of people don't enjoy. You know? Because, I'll give you a great example. The God of War, I guess, remake, continuation, whatever, the 2016 God of War. It kind of continued, lightly continued the story of God of War 1, 2, and 3, while also doing new stuff. a lot of the hardcore fans, and it sold really well, right? A lot of the hardcore fans that love the original three and then the spin-offs like Chains of Olympus and stuff like that absolutely hate and do not like God of War 2016 and Ragnarok. They don't like them. Okay, so you can still make a great game and it can still sell well, but you can still make a game. And they were really passionate about going this new direction with 2016 and Ragnarok that they ultimately convinced, Santa Monica, the studio that made it, to go along with it, and it sold. Is it 2018? No, it's not 20. Is it 2018? I thought Ragnarok was 2018. Hold on now. Has it really been that little of time? Oh, wow. You're right. 2018. I always thought it was 2016. Damn. Okay. I stand corrected. Regardless, my point still stands. You can still make a game that sells well and that you're very passionate about as a developer. And a lot of people still will not like it. Like I said, a lot of the hardcore fans that like the original trilogy with the spin-offs like Chains of Olympus and stuff do not like the direction and the different changes they did with 2018 and Ragnarok. They just don't like them. Granted, it still sold well, but again, there's a lot of people that don't like it. The really hardcore fans do not like it. Me personally, I played the originals and I played God of War 2018 and I played Ragnarok. I love 2018 and Ragnarok so much that I'm gonna go back and play a God of War game. It's gonna be those two before I go back and play the older ones. I didn't really like the third person. I will say that. I didn't like the zoom out third person of those games. The third person for the newer ones is more, the camera's more close in. I like that a lot better. But the older ones with the camera was way too zoomed out. Didn't like it. I did love the fights. They were more brutal and over the top. I like that. I like the story and stuff, but like combat wise and like how it felt and visually, I prefer the newer ones. But I don't mind the story and the brutality and the cool fights that they had in those games. I can't get behind like the other stuff, but I like all of them. But I will go back and play Ragnarok in the 2018 one before the older ones. I like the way those play better. I do love the stories of those. I don't know. I'm surprised that they took such a drastic change in mythology and it banked for them. I'm glad that a lot of people still enjoy the newer ones. But again, there are a lot of people out there that are hardcore fans of the originals that do not like the newer ones. So you might have the same thing with Spyro Realm Beyond. The hardcore fans who loved Spyro 2, was it Ripto's Rage, and then You're the Dragon, that don't like this new one. They might be like, I mean, it's not bad, but I don't like it compared to the other ones. I prefer the older ones. See what I mean? Or vice versa, you can have people be like, this one's better than the older ones. Or maybe both parties like it. But majority of the time, you're not able to satisfy everybody. Which means most of the time you can be passionate, but you're still gonna have like a split fan base, Now that I know Spyro will be successful. Wait, what? Now I know that Spyro will be successful. I know some people will complain about it. Yeah, and it's not really just because it's Spyro, it's just because it's a new game. Whether it's Spyro or Crash or Call of Duty or whatever, people are going to complain. You literally can't make everyone happy. You know how many friends I have that don't understand why I still keep playing COD? They're like, Call of Duty is ass now. First of all, anyone who thinks that, I'm sorry, you're wrong. just because everyone is saying a game is bad doesn't mean you should just agree with them and go along with it. Play it for yourself. You could be like, oh, I'm seeing gameplay. It's ass. There's one thing to watch someone play a game. I'm telling you this right now because this is 100% true. What you see, and I know this because I've watched a lot of people play games on YouTube, and it's different from watching it, and it's different from getting your hands on it and playing yourself. I already mentioned Keizo got me into a lot of these simulator games. They're fun watching him play it. But the minute I get my hands on it, it's even more fun than watching him play it. And the same thing could be said where someone's playing something and you're like, oh, this looks bad, I'm not picking this up. But getting your hands on it, you might actually enjoy it. You might be like, yo, it's kind of bad in some ways, but it's actually fun and entertaining. It's a fun, good time. I've literally had that experience so many times. So it's one thing to go along with what someone says just because you like them, which is fine. You can like them, but to just go along with what someone says is not always good. I have friends that watch people review something, like for a movie or TV show, and based off of how they review it, they'll either watch it or not watch it. And I'm like, look, just because someone didn't like it doesn't mean you won't like it. There are people out there that didn't like Spider-Man Brand New Day. Did you know that? There's a small group from what I've seen, but there are people out there that say there's so many wrong things in the movie. Some of them I agree with. Some of them I don't. But do I think it's a really bad movie? No. No. You're crazy. No. It's really great, actually. But again, you can't satisfy everyone, right? Some people are going to be stuck in their delusion. Some people, for some reason, it might not hit with them. But with other people, it might. So that's why I watch reviews. And if someone says it's bad, I'm going to be like, well, I saw the trailers, and I'm still excited for it, so I'm going to go see it. Now, if I go see it and it's bad, then I'll be like, okay, they're right. If I go see it and I liked it, I'm like, well, they didn't like it, but I loved it. You know, and I will die on this hill because even my fiance doesn't agree with me. I didn't like Madam Web. She thought it was bad too. Worst Marvel movie in my opinion. But I did like Kraven. Now, she thought it was okay. She didn't like it as much as me, but she thought it was okay. I love Morbius, though. You know how many people hate that movie? She's like, oh, you're crazy. That movie was bad. I'm like, sorry. I loved it. Comic accurate. I liked the fights, the powers, everything. I don't like the way it ended, but I love the movie. I really do. So every time someone says it's bad, I'm like, just because you didn't like it doesn't mean it's a bad movie. Because there are people out there that like it. I'm one of them. So, and I will die on that hill. Morbius is not a bad movie, right? And the same thing goes with Captain Marvel. I didn't like that movie that much, but was it a dumpster fire shit show, worst movie of that year, like people were saying it was? No. And I saw the sequel, The Marvels. They said it was worse than the first. I 100% disagree. And I will die on the hill. I like the second one more than the first one. I would go back and watch the second one. I don't like the first one. I think Brie Larson's acting was horrible in the first one. She was trying too much. It didn't come off authentic. It was bad acting. And she didn't really do shit in that movie. And then at the end, she just beat the bad guy up. It was so lame. Okay? Whereas in Endgame and all the other movies she's been in, even the Marvels, I could see that she stopped trying so hard and she just acted. And it came off way better. I believed her as the character more better. I liked her as the character more better. And it just worked so well. But the first movie, she was trying too hard. I mean, you could tell. It was bad acting. The story was ass and shit. It was just so bad. But I liked the second one. A lot of people didn't like the second one or the first one. And they said the second one was worse than the first one. And I 100% disagree. And I will die on that hill. Again, for what works for one person will not work for someone else. It's always been like that. That's why you can never satisfy everyone. Because they're always split. I mean, there's a movie that came out, was it last year or 2 years ago? The Crow. Now, a lot of the people who saw the old Crow, I'm not going to get into what happened, but the old Crow movies, I think it was like 2 or 3 of them. People love them. I have a friend that loved those movies. She grew up around that time. She loved the actor who played the Crow, right? And when the new one came out, she's like, I want to see it, but I don't think, what's his name? Bill Skarsgård. He played the new Crow. I don't think he's going to be able to replace the previous guy for me. I think the previous guy just did it better. And it didn't replace it for her. She's like, yeah, I like the originals more. I love the newer ones more, actually. I didn't, and our reasons were different, but we still liked what we liked, and that's how it's always going to be, right? I didn't like the costume and stuff like that of the old one. I didn't like the outdatedness and stuff like that. And I love the newer one because it was more darker. It delved more deeper into the craziness, and I like the costume more. I know a lot of people said it's ass, but I don't care. I liked it. And I like the soundtrack and all that stuff better. Again, that's just another movie that a lot of people didn't like, but guess what? I loved it. So I will die on that hill too. So what works for someone will not always work for someone else. That's the whole point about all this. A lot of people think Infinity War was the best Marvel movie. I'm sorry, I loved Endgame more. I'm sorry. I don't. I just talked about this yesterday with one of my friends. He loved Infinity War more better. Like, based off of the story and stuff like that. And although I agree, I don't think it's better. I think Endgame is better. And granted, I told him that when I rewatch Endgame, I just go to the end and I watch the fight scene. I saw it 3 times in theaters complete, and then when I watch it at home, I just go to the end to the fight scene. But I still think that movie was better. And I will die on that hill too. Like, it's not always the same for everyone. You know what I mean? And it doesn't need to be. That's what makes everyone different. Just like I know some people will complain about the Halloween game. Like, oh my God, so many people. I already see it now. This game doesn't need to exist. It's going to be worse than the Leatherface game. Oh, this, that. It'll last 2 weeks and then it'll die. I'm just like, bruh. Even though I'm going to love the Halloween game, I know some will hate on it. I hope I love it. Look, the only way I'm going to love it, I'm saying it right now, it has to play like the Friday the 13th game. And so far, what I'm seeing, I'm actually really liking. I think I'm going to get scared a lot in this game, but especially if I'm playing the Survivor, but it looks good. And I'm really excited for it. I hope it does well. But I wouldn't be I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed. Let me explain. They have barely shown anything for the story mode they're going to have. So I'm completely worried that this story mode is just going to be like the online mode, but with some story, which I don't want. That's actually ass. I hate when games do that. They just put you in like an online match, but they add story in it and they call it a story mode. Spoiler, that's not a story mode. I'll tell you what is a story mode. Now, 2 days ago, IGN, I don't like IGN and I don't trust their reviews or shit, but they get exclusive looks at games all the time. IGN got an exclusive 14-minute gameplay video of Clive Barker's Hellraiser. This is the new Hellraiser game that's coming at the beginning of October. I love Hellraiser. I haven't watched all the movies, but I know enough lore about the character and stuff that I'm excited to see what this game is. I watched the gameplay. I'm going to be honest. It was kind of ass. But funny enough, you talk about podcasts now a lot. He reacted to it and he really liked it, actually. And I'm like, no, I disagreed. Because I'm like, it doesn't look like a Hellraiser game. It looks like they're cosplaying. Like they're trying to make a Hellraiser game in that world with stuff that isn't Hellraiser. From what I remember with the movies, there is not a guy walking around with a gun killing the people that are coming from hell. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that isn't Hellraiser. That's what was in the gameplay. You're playing this random guy walking around with a flashlight, a gun, and a cube, which is part to the Hellraiser story. The cube is very important for the Hellraiser story, so I do like that. But the guns don't work on the Hell people. They never did. So why the hell do you have a character using a gun on Hell beings and it's working? I don't understand. Like, it looks bad. First of all, the graphics look like a PS3, PS2 game, so there's that. certain parts looked like a PS5 game, like they were detailed and stuff. The boss fight, you could tell the person on IGN wasn't playing it correctly because it was slow and they were bad at it. I would have finished that boss fight in like 2 minutes. I don't know why they were taking their sweet time. And now that the gameplay is out for that boss fight, everyone who plays this game is going to beat it so quickly because the boss is so predictable and his movement so easy to beat. It's just lame. I did like the ending of it though, when the Hellraisers I don't know if it's his subordinates or his helpers or stuff, but they came to stop the character and said like, "Oh, you'll meet him eventually, and you're gonna regret doing all the stuff you're doing." And like it built the ending is where that Hellraiser Lord was, and I love that. But the rest of the fucking the 12 minutes was ass. I'm sorry, and I was looking forward to this game because I was gonna pick it up. I don't know. I'm gonna wait for a review now, and if it's ass, I'm not picking it up. Like. I want just because I'm excited for a game. If it comes out bad and I still love the IP and I'm excited for it, doesn't mean I'm going to pick it up. I like the Leatherface IP. I didn't like the game, so I didn't bother picking it up. Honestly, that Friday the 13th game story mode was complete ass. Oh, I'm not saying that's why I liked it. I love the multiplayer. I didn't even know it had a story mode. I love the multiplayer a lot. That's what I'm saying. I need this game, the Halloween game, to be just like the multiplayer. Like, if the Halloween multiplayer plays a lot like the Friday the 13th multiplayer, I'm 100% going to love it. All it was is you and Jason just killing a few people, then it's over and over, lazy, repetitive. So, yeah, I didn't know there was a story mode at all. I never got a chance to play it. I just played the multiplayer. I didn't know there was a story mode. That's a surprise to me. But yeah, I'm excited for the story mode in this. I hope it's good, but I doubt it. What I want though is I want this company making these games to get away from just the online only and just make. Unfortunately, the example I have to use, the reason why I brought the Hellraiser game up is I want a Halloween game like that. I want a single player story driven Halloween game. I don't care if you play as Michael. I don't care if you play as the sister. What's her name? I forgot her name. but Laurie Strode. And you have to fend off Michael, and he's constantly following you, and you have to, go with your neighbors, and kind of like a movie, but like with cutscenes of a story-driven Michael Myers game. And the same thing with Scream. I love multiplayer games. Don't get me wrong. But I've been drawn away from them now because they're all similar or they're bad. And I want more single-player games. If they can make a single-player Michael Myers and Scream game and make it great, that's what I would prefer. All this online shit is annoying, man. They also added an offline mode with offline bots, and bots in that game were trash. They were dumb as bricks. Well, you can't even play the game anymore because they completely shut it down. I didn't know they did that. That's sad. Man. But I think that was the best game they made, was the Friday the 13th game. I didn't like, was it an Alien game? Oh, Predator. I didn't like the Predator Badlands. Was it Badlands? Or something like that. I didn't like the Leatherface game. I loved Predator. I saw the gameplay and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, no. I like Leatherface. I saw all the problems and bugs and glitches and all that, and I was like, yeah, no. I'm not doing it. But this game, I was skeptical with, but I was still excited. And every time I hear them talk, they are just so genuine and just trying to make a good game. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give that one to you. Let's see if you can keep those promises. Regardless, I'm still picking it up day one because it's Halloween. It's Michael Myers. It was, but most of the single player stuff was trash. Oh shit, I can't stop choking. It was trash. That's sad. I didn't know that. Well, it is what it is. Let's hope the Halloween game isn't as bad. I just hope it's really good. Well, let's continue with this. We're already coming up on that hour mark, so we'll probably give it like 20 minutes and I'll stop. We didn't really do anything yet, but oh well. It's okay. She's giving us a recap for anyone who doesn't know, but there's Akiyama. Yeah, Goro Majima. Not Date. Daigo Dojima.
私の夢はアイドルになること。でももう一つあったんです。大好きな人たちと一緒に幸せに暮らすこと。だからもうこれ以上歌うことはできません。私は桐生一馬の家族です。
That was a big moment because her agent that brought her on said that they would not let her continue singing. No one would want to hire her or contract with her because she has ties to the YAKUZA. Because, you know, this is basically her father that adopted her and stuff like that after, you know, her real family went bye-bye. But so her doing that is basically like, none of this means shit if I can't be with the people I care about. And this is basically her father. So, yeah. I don't understand why some people just trash on things like making videos saying a certain thing is a crime against humanity. Like, why are some people so harsh on games? Because they hold them in such high regard. I don't like that either. I wish people would go into games or anything, movies, TV shows, and just go in with minimal expectations. It's new. You don't know nothing about it. Or if it's based off of a comic or something, still go in with an open mind. Because even though you don't want to see changes, they can make a lot of changes that are good. Right? And granted, they can make a lot of changes that are bad, but still. Say what you want about The Walking Dead. Good choices, bad choices, they've had both. At the end of the day, 11 seasons, a couple spin-offs, it is still probably one of the best shows to watch right now. Even though it's not on TV, right? If you wanted a great show to watch, that no matter what, you're still going to enjoy somewhat, Walking Dead, 100%. Again, they made great choices, they made bad choices, but at the end of the day, it's not like it's a dumpster fire of a show. It is still such a great show, right? So, you know. But there's a lot of people that shit on it. So he did lose a lot of blood in the last fight, so we are in the hospital.
それにしてもさっきのステージじゃ思い切ったね。ニュースで何回も流れてる。ただあそこで君が言ったようにはいかないかもしれない。元ヤクザに育てられたアイドルのステージでの引退宣言。その周辺で起きていた登場会や大見の構想。テレビの騒ぎで分かってるだろうけど。
Like you only have one life, just enjoy things. Exactly. I 100% agree. But people can't do that. They'd rather spend their life doing this, what we just talked about, than just enjoying it. They're just called miserable people. They like being miserable. They like making other people miserable. That's just how they are. They wouldn't want to spend their life any other way. Because they do it all the time. In every way they do it. It is unfortunate and it's sad, and sometimes I feel sorry for them, but sometimes I don't. Like, I'm like, dude, if you get canceled or stuff, that's on you. Because you're over here doing shit where you don't need to do. Just enjoy your life. Like, literally, just enjoy your life. Take things in stride. You don't have to like what everyone else likes, and vice versa. Just because someone says something's good doesn't mean you have to you have to agree. But Just live your life, be happy, be yourself, stop trying to be someone else, and you'll live a better, healthier, longer life, you know?
じゃあカムロ町もまた寂しくなるな。
なんや札の旦那方、えらい怖い顔して患者ら怖がっとんで。
Here we go. They're trying to come and arrest the girl and this guy.
脱獄で捕まんのはこれだ2回。
I will say this. I don't know if it's.
話が早くて助かるな。酌量の余地はある。冴島隊がおとなしくしろよ。
ジタバタする気なんかあらへん。くそが、なんで兄弟ばっかりこんな目に遭うんや。ええんや。
This is the last game we're going to be playing in Japanese because Yakuza 7 has an English dub. The man who erased his name has an English dub. Oh, actually, maybe it doesn't. Let me see. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. And the Infinite Wealth has English dub. So this is the last Yakuza we'll be playing in Japanese.
カムロ町での暴行傷害、並びに器物破損の容疑で逮捕します。
Yeah, so they're trying to arrest someone who's basically in a coma.
元東上会会長、桐生一馬容疑者を事件の首謀者として逮捕しました。
今回の桐生の逮捕。
I don't mean to be biased when I say I'll love a Realm Beyond. I'm just being honest. Yeah, I think people confuse being biased with just being very passionate about a particular thing. Like me, I'm not afraid to say I am technically a little bit biased with Naruto, but at the same time, I have every right to be because how my life and what I went through is so similar to Naruto and Sasuke. You know, not in every manner, but like with what they went through as kids and, you know, being all alone, having trouble making friends, like that was me. And then a lot of the stuff that happens in the anime to these characters happened to me. So I relate with them so much than any other anime that will always be my favorite anime. So you can be like, oh, you're just being biased or unnecessary glazing. Yes, I am. And I literally have no problem saying that. I've literally said, like, I am biased with Naruto, but I have every right to be. And the same thing goes with Fairy Tail, right? I've also said, like, I'm a little biased, but at the end of the day, it's what I like, it's what I enjoy, and that's not going to change no matter what. But with other stuff, I literally can... like even with Naruto, I'm a little biased, but I can still say that there's a couple things in there that I don't like. Like, I don't like how Naruto and even Shippuden, I think Shippuden, which is like when he's older, I think this one handled it a bit better, but the Naruto series, I'm rewatching with my fiance, because she's never seen it. There's so much filler in that fucking shit. It's so dumb. I don't like filler in animes. Unless it's done well, I don't like it. And even though it's done well in Naruto, I still don't like it. I just don't like filler. I guess in a way, even if it's done well, I don't like it. Like, keep it apart from the side story. Make a series with just the filler. So if I want to watch it, I can, and if I don't care, then I don't want to. There's just so much filler, but I still think it's my favorite anime, and I still love it. But I don't like the filler. So you can still like something and be biased about it and still say that there are still problems with that thing. And that's what I do all the time, so. But, no, someone who is 100% biased, like something, and no matter what, they believe that thing can't do no wrong. It could release broken to shit, right? And a biased person will still believe that it is perfect and it, you know, oh, it's not broken, it's just your console, it's you, it's not their fault. You know, you didn't, the publisher didn't give them enough time to work on the game. They were forced to put it out early. They'll always come up with excuses because they're biased and they believe that game can do no wrong. Or movie or TV show, whatever it is. And being honest, I have in the past gotten hate for liking Brian and Family Guy. Why? Brian is so awesome? Stewie's my favorite, but Brian is so good. It was a long time ago, but people have said to me, how can you like the character? He's a douche. I mean, it's my guy, you're acting like I actually like people in real life that are douches. He's like, yeah, he's a douche, but he's also a nice guy at times too, so I mean, he's like literally Peter's best friend, so I think people want everyone to agree with them no matter what. And no, I'm not like those people, which is exactly why I disagree with them. Everyone's different. Everyone has different opinions. And that's okay.
Oji-san?
はるか、俺がただ一人愛した女の忘れ方に出会った頃、まだ幼かったこの子は過酷な運命を背負って極道の抗争に巻き込まれていた。そして大事な人間を次々に失った俺にとって唯一の生きる支えになった。
I'm here. I was just playing Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 through 3, doing the Hour of Joy trilogy, no death. Well, welcome. I have to be honest, we're probably not going to be doing this for much longer. I didn't have a lot of time today. I kind of started late. I had 2 appointments back to back that I had to freaking literally wait for freaking phone calls, so I couldn't stream. Or else I would have streamed earlier, but I just couldn't. Because I'm not going to be streaming without talking right now. Well, on a phone call, I'm not going to be able to put my focus into both. So I said I'll wait till I have my appointments and then I'll stream. And then I realized my fiance is almost out of work. So I'm like, I don't have a lot of time. So probably once we're done going through this intro of these characters, for anyone who never played the original 5 games, or 6, because Yakuza 0, they kind of break down every character, and they kind of give you like their backstory so you know who they are. So this is like a good point to enter into the Yakuza series, because they kind of explain a lot. But I still recommend playing all the originals. I liked it with The Walking Dead. I'm a fan of The Walking Dead, but I'm not afraid to call it out when it messes up. See, that's what I'm saying. Someone who can still love something, but still say, hey, you know, there's certain stuff about this thing I love that I didn't like, or I don't like these changes, or this or that. That means you're not biased. Because if you're biased, you're a person that likes whatever you like, whether it's a movie, a TV show, a food, or whatever. And no matter what, you're like, that will always be good, or it can never do no wrong, it never makes a mistake, there's never a problem with it. That's a biased person. That's why when someone says something's perfect but then also says, oh, like, I mean, there were some minor issues I had with, okay, well then that's not perfect. So you're lying to me, and you're lying to everyone else who's watching a review, giving it a 10 out of 10 because you still have problems with it. So you're biased, literally.
みつシロ綾子泉リオナエリ親の顔も知らないこの俺が沖縄に児童養護施設朝顔を作って
I'll get to go see Spider-Man on Friday. I'm excited. Ooh. Man, I forget this. There's still some people that haven't seen Spider-Man. Like, my friend that hanged out with us yesterday. With my family and stuff. Oh my god. We were having so much fun yesterday, but We played like 12 different games, I'm not gonna lie. We kept skipping games. We were having a hell of a time, but I asked him, I'm like, have you seen Spider-Man yet? Because I've been wanting to talk spoilers with him. And he's like, nah, I haven't seen it yet. I was like, God damn! And I was like, oh, well, do you mind, like, spoilers that aren't really spoilers? And he's like, what do you mean, like, about the story? I'm like, no, I mean, like, before the movie came out, a lot of people had, like, theories and, like, expectations of what was going to be in that movie. And there's a lot of stuff that wasn't in that movie when people thought it would be. So, I'm like that. It's not really spoilers, but it's basically me telling him, hey, this isn't in the movie, so do not expect it, basically. I look at it like a warning, not really like a spoiler. And he's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, why not? Because it's not in the movie, so it's not going to spoil me. So then I told him, and he's like, oh, well, that actually makes sense. Because, I don't, you know what? I want to talk about it, but I don't know. Who has seen the movie and who hasn't seen the movie? Obviously, God's Not Dead, you haven't seen it yet. Simba fan, have you seen the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie yet? I don't really want to... It's not really a spoiler, but it's a spoiler to tell you that it's not in the movie, so do not expect it. It's more like preparing you so you don't go in excited and don't end up seeing it, basically. So I want to mention it because I'm sad that it's not in the movie. Two of these I really wanted in the movie and they never happened, so I'm sad on both of those cases. And a lot of people were hoping. I told you about it when you said it was awesome. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you've seen it, but God's Not Dead hasn't seen it. Okay, God's Not Dead. Are you okay? There's two things that people thought were going to be in the movie that are not in the movie. That's all I'm going to talk about, not spoilers. But I'm basically going to say it because do not have your expectations going into this movie hoping to see these things because they're not going to be in there. They're not really spoilers for the movie because they're not in it. I'm okay with it? Okay. So, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were expecting Man-Spider in this movie, right? With him getting the organic webs in the trailers, and then with him coming out of that web cocoon in the trailers, he's not in the movie, okay? There's no Man-Spider scene. However, Tom Holland in the interview said they did film a scene for that. It was like right after he slowly started, you know, having these symptoms. Try not to get into spoilers. There was a Man-Spider scene. It was a dream sequence, right? Where he was sleeping and he was dreaming it and it happened. They cut it out, though, because when, you know, a lot of movies have test screenings before the movies came out. When they did test screenings for it, with the people working on the movie, and then with audiences, it was unanimous. A lot of people said, this is going to scare kids. It's just like overly detailed. It's really scary. This is not going to do well in theaters. People are going to get like nightmares. People are going to get traumatized. And I was so excited. I'm like, bro, I would have loved to see that. But I do agree. A lot of kids, which do go out and see comic book movies like Spider-Man and stuff, they would have been scared. Yeah, 100%. And they didn't want that. They didn't want like a lot of the people to leave their kids out from going because unfortunately that would have cost them a lot of money. So they cut it out. Now, one thing I still hope is, and a lot of people were saying this in the interview where it happened in the comments, they were like, I hope when they make the digital or DVD release date or whatever, or extended cut or whatever, I hope that scene is like a bonus feature so we can still see it like if it was in the movie. So we could see if we would have liked it or not. And I agree with that. I agree with that with every movie. Anything that was in the movie that you filmed, that you cut, you still have it because you filmed it. Anyone who picks up the DVD, Blu-ray, whatever version needs to see that on like a bonus feature. You filmed it, why not? It's extra content for someone buying your movie. You know, I would love to see that scene play out in the movie as if it was in the movie. You know, Not saying I would like it, but I would like to see it, you know, because why not? Now that's the first thing that is in the movie. So if you're going in expecting Man Spider, he's not in there. I'm sorry. He's not. Now the second thing is the symbiote. Now that all the stories people were coming up with made so much sense. And again, in Secret Wars, especially in the comics, Tom Holland, well, not Tom Holland, but Spider-Man has the symbiote already by Secret Wars. So now I'm expecting like an Avengers Doomsday cutscene, like a post-credit scene, or literally at the beginning of Secret Wars, he gets the symbiote because he doesn't have it yet. And it's all but confirmed in Secret Wars he's gonna have it. So I'm like, okay, when are you gonna show us that he even gets it? You know? So the symbiote isn't in there either. And a lot of people were like, oh well, like the eyes going black in the trailers, that's the symbiote. It's not. It's something else. You'll find it out. But both of those things would have been really cool in the movie. I would have loved to see Man Spider, even if it was for like 5 minutes and then gone. Or the symbiote in some form. Even if it was like a post-credit scene. And it wasn't. So it was so sad. I went in with both of those and I didn't get either. And I was really, really, really sad. Well, they did that with the Titanic movie. The Titanic, most of the deleted scene stuff that got cut, you can still watch now. Oh yeah, 100%. But I'm saying there's movies also that don't do that. They cut a lot of stuff and you never get to see what that stuff is. Like, a great thing that I loved about the Batman, there was one scene cut from Robert Pattinson's Batman. And it was really good. And they cut it. And then I think 2 years later, the director said, you know what, this is too good to not show anyone. So he released it on YouTube. I'm telling you right now, if that scene was in the movie, it would have made the movie so much better. I still love the movie a lot, actually. I think I still liked it better than The Dark Knight. But if that scene was in the movie, I would have went crazy in theaters. I think a lot of people would have. But I do know why they cut it out. It would have definitely distracted from the other main story with Riddler and stuff like that. So it makes sense. But I still would have loved to see it. And I'm so glad the director decided to release it online on YouTube. Because he said, like, I wasn't supposed to show it, but I don't know if we're going to go anywhere with this. And I still think it's a really great scene. That's why we filmed it. And even though it didn't make it in the cut of the movie, I want people to see this. So he released it online, and I'm so glad he did, because it was so good. For anyone who don't know that scene, it involved the Joker. I think it was Barry Keoghan, the actor. He plays the Joker, and he plays a good Joker. And it looks like a more messed up Joker. So, like, anyone who knows Joker, he became Joker because he fell in the Ace Chemicals acid and, you know. Well, this version of Joker literally would have gotten disfigured by the Ace Chemicals acid. He has hair spots sticking out of his head because half of his hair got burnt with the acid. Half of his head is melted from the acid, and he still has some hair that's green and chemicalized. It's still sticking out of his head, but he doesn't have a full head of hair. You know, half his face around his mouth is melted, and he talks in a slur. Like, he struggles to talk because half his face is melted. It's really good. Like, I recommend looking up the scene. It's really good. And I would have loved to see that in the movie, but I do agree that it would have definitely distracted away from Riddler and all the stuff going on in that movie. But I'm still glad I got to see it, and I'm so glad he decided to release it online. What would it be like to have Spider-Man's powers? I don't even know if the normal human body could be able to handle it. But hypothetically, if they could, it would be a lot for majority of people to handle. Just because it's a lot. Learning how to web swing. I mean, that is one thing I will say that Tobey's movies did well. At least with the first movie. Is him learning how to web swing? It wasn't easy. You know, he didn't know how to do the thwip. He didn't know how to do the momentum. He didn't know how to do any of that. He had to learn. And I love that the movie did a good job at like breaking it down of him learning it. I really love that. So I think everyone would struggle with that. Everyone would struggle. There's a lot of people that don't know how to tone their senses down, and they can't just focus on one sense. Like, they can't focus on one voice or one audio. They hear everything. I'm really good at being able to focus on one audio while multiple audios are going on. But a lot of people aren't. Now, if they don't have a choice, and they're hearing everything all at once because they have Spider-Man powers, that's going to be really hard for people to narrow it down and focus on one thing. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. So I think it's going to be a lot for a lot of people, but it would be cool. The web swinging, the super strength, being able to get hit by something really hard and still kind of being able to get back up, like the spider sense, all that stuff would be really cool. Now, what sucks, though, is that Friday the 13th Part 7, what is that? Apparently the original kills, or that footage is gone, we'll never see it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, a lot of movies are like that. What movie was that? You said Part 7, I don't know them by parts. I only know them by the names. Which movie was that? Which version was that? Yeah, I mean, look, it's the internet, so she's getting bullied because that's the internet. Damn. Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. I don't know if I saw that one. Let me look it up. Let me see. Okay, I got it pulled up. I got all the movies. So we got Friday the 13th, 1990 or 1980. Friday the 13th Part 2, 1981. Part 3 and 1982. Damn, they were all released a year apart. 94, The Final Chapter. Okay. Part 5, A New Beginning. 1985. Damn, that movie still holds up for 1985. It still looks good. Damn, what cameras were they using? Part 6, Jason Lives, 1986. And there's part 7, New Blood. Let me read the synopsis. I don't think I've seen this one. Yeah, I haven't seen this one. Yeah, this is with the teenager that has powers. Yeah. Telekinesis. Yeah, I never saw this one. I know why I've never seen it now. It sounds so dumb. How do we have a psychic person be able to communicate with Jason in the water and free him just for him and her to have like a psychic battle? That sounds so stupid. I love the Friday the 13th movies, but again, I'm gonna call out the bad shit, right? That sounds so dumb. The kills in that movie were watered down and hacked to death. I'm so glad I didn't see it then. So you agree it was bad, right? I didn't see it, but you saw it, right? Was it bad? Was it really bad? Because based off of what I'm reading, it sounds bad. Oh, it was originally supposed to be the crossover movie for Freddy and Jason. That actually would have made sense with the telekinesis, kind of. The idea was scrapped when Paramount and New Line could not reach an agreement. Well, we saw... Yeah, it was a terrible movie. Good. I'm glad I didn't see it then. I think that's the only one I haven't seen. I saw Jason in Space, so, unfortunately. That was the Jason X movie, I think. That one was okay. I didn't like the mask. Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. What is this? Oh, yeah, I know this one. Yeah, I've seen this one. This one was okay. It was okay. I feel like after the 5th movie, it got a little wacky. I don't know if you agree, but I feel like it got a little wacky where you're like, are they just doing it to do it now? Oh, yeah, Jason Goes to Hell. Even Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, was also terrible. I think there were a couple parts about that were okay. They weren't great, but they were okay. But yeah, I will agree, it was a bit of a mess. But like I said, I think after Part 5, a lot of the movies just became kind of bad. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. There is one rule that all the characters break in any horror movie. Let me guess. Well, there's a lot of rules. Don't open the door. Don't go investigating. You know, instead of grabbing a weapon, you grab like a broom or something. Like, they all break a lot of rules. What is the one rule you think, though? I think I did see Jason Goes to Hell. Uh-oh, they changed some of the story. Oh boy. So, it features a unconventional plot where Jason disembodied spirit possesses human hosts to continue killing before a climatic ending teased by Freddy Krueger's glove, which then led into Jason vs. Freddy. Interesting. I mean, I like that post-credit thing. That's kind of cool. With, like, the Freddy glove thing. But him possessing, like, regular humans to continue killing is kind of strange. Well, I'm talking specifically in Friday the 13th, but the rule is no sex. That's literally every horror movie. Every time they're smashing, you know they're gonna die. By the end of the movie, they're dead. You know that. That's why I said earlier that the original kills or footage is ruined. So it's gone, we'll never see it. Yeah. Damn. That is a shame. Because whether it was a bad movie or not, I would have, like, for a lot of these horror movies especially, I would have liked to have seen, like, a lot of these different cut scenes or deleted scenes. Even if, like I said, even if the movie is bad, I still would have liked to see it. So it is a shame. Because I'm a huge fan of always wanting to see and be able to appreciate someone's full art, you know, on screen. Whether it's a game, a movie, a TV show. I don't like when they cut or delete stuff out, because I'm like, you're basically removing their original creative vision for what they had planned for the movie, the game, or the show. Whereas if you left that in, some people could say if it was bad or good, like, that's their choice. And by not leaving it in, you're kind of taking away some of their creative vision for it. So it's a bit of a shame. Who started the fire? This game is gonna do a lot of this, right? Where it's gonna show you stuff and you won't know it till later. It's a build-up. The game literally started with a fight that doesn't happen for a while. Like, it's like showing you this is happening and you're like, oh, why does Kiryu have a baby? Why is he here? He's clearly not in Okinawa. What's going on? Well, you will know. You need to see the build up to that. And the same thing goes with the fire. You're not gonna know, and when you do know who does it, you're not gonna even know why immediately. They're build ups. I'm just gonna say it's crazy. Like, two characters go to smash, and then a few minutes later they die. Exactly. Just don't do it, bro. Don't do it. I get it. We're all probably wanting to do that at some point, but if there's a killer running around, that's not the first thing on my mind. In fact, it's nowhere on my mind, because I'm like, I need to be able to look around and pay attention to my surroundings so I don't end up dying. Okay? So if you want to do that, unfortunately, go do that with somebody else. You'll probably die. I'm sorry, goodbye, I'll never see you again. But I'm not going to die. So, yeah, he was in jail for a long time. He's back now. Well, but Haruka is gone because of all the online bullying she was getting, which is crazy. What is this one? Damn.
ぶりだみんな。本当に大きくなりやがって。
おじさん変わんないね。
はるかお姉ちゃんは一緒じゃないの？
そうだよ。後から来るんでしょ。
Wait a minute, Jason X was the final performance for the guy who originally played the Jason character? I didn't know that. Damn, that's a horrible way to go out, because that movie was not good. Wait, then who plays him in the Freddy vs. Jason movie?
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。はるかお姉ちゃんが朝顔を出て行ったのは3年前。最初は
the original guy was Kane Hodder, and the Freddy vs. Jason one is Ken Kurzinger. Aw, man. That's sad. I mean, I look, I think story-wise, Freddy vs. Jason was bad, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of did like this movie. And I did like the fight between both of them. I actually really did. Wait, there was a reboot that came out in 2009? Was that good? Honestly, best Jason was Derek Mears' 2009 remake. Oh, is that that's the 2009 one. Was that movie good though? Minus Jason, like the actor that plays him, was the movie good? Funny, they made a whole movie on that sex trope with It Follows. Yes, I know that movie. Yes, they did. That one was okay. Also, a character will be running away and trip on literally on nothing. Yo, I had so many problems with that. I'm like, bro, if I'm running for my life, I ain't tripping on anything. Because my life depends on it. If they knock out the killer, they would go make sure they're actually dead. Yeah, they'd be like trying to take their mask off or something. I'm like, no, shoot him, stab him, make sure first. What the hell is wrong with you? To me, it was a decent movie. Does it tell the original story of the original, like, first movie? Or is it like a completely new story? I didn't know there was a reboot in 2009. I might have to see that. Where can I see that? Damn, I'm gonna have to buy it or rent it. God damn it. Okay.
いや、そうじゃねえ。お前のせいでも、はるかのせいでもねえ。全部、俺のせいだ。
おじさん。
だから俺が必ずはるかを探し出して。
Worst horror movie decision, let's split up and investigate. Oh yeah. I don't like that either. That's dumb. I'm like, bro, really? You want this guy taking us off one by one? Really? One-way ticket to death, 100%. It's a combination of all four of them, like Jared Padalecki looking for a missing family member. Oh. I might have to check that out. I mean, it's $3 to rent on Amazon Prime, like video. I might just do that. Fuck it, I guess. Am I supposed to talk to someone? What am I supposed to do? I need a plan to find Haruka. Calm down the kids. Okay, so I gotta talk to everyone. Alright, once I talk to half these kids, I'm gonna leave one untalkable. And then we're gonna save and we'll continue tomorrow. I wish I had more time, but I do have to stop. We'll have a lot more time tomorrow, so we'll get deeper into the story. But we got the origin of everything that happened. We went to jail for everything we've done. We're a free man now. Haruka's gone. We gotta find out where she went. Stuff like that. We gotta find her, make sure she's okay, and stuff like that. And then, you know, there's a lead up. So, like I said, this game is my favorite of the YAKUZA. The visuals, the combat, everything is really good. The story is so emotional. Like, there will be some good, happy moments. There'll be a lot of sad moments, and, you know, those heart-wrenching moments that we love in good stories. And then, you know, it ultimately ends with, like, a bow on top. I could make a whole list of horror movie decisions. There is one more. A character will be running away, and just when they're about to get away, let me guess. I'm going to finish it, and then I'll read what you said. Just when they're about to get away, they turn around to see if they're being followed, only to get killed, right? Let's see. Just when they're about to escape, they'll turn around and see if they're being followed. Yes, I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, I hate that too. The tripping on nothing. The, seeing a dark room with noises in it, and then going, hello? Shut up! We don't do that. We're not stupid. Or being like, do you think we should go investigate? I don't know. Do you see how pitch black in there? Yeah. So do you want to investigate? Yeah. Okay, you can go. And I'm going to leave. Because, no, that's a bad decision. Oh, you know, Katie might be in there. Screw Katie. She's dead. Let's go. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, there are so many bad decisions. I agree. You can make a whole list. I could probably do a 20-minute video of, like, what? 100+ things of bad decisions people make in horror movies. And that still won't be all of them. I don't know why they do it. I don't even know why they make people, like, dumbish. Like, dumb enough to do these decisions, because I can't genuinely believe from my heart that there are people this dumb out there to make these decisions. Imagine you're running for your life, right? You're being chased. It doesn't matter where you're at. You could be in a forest, you could be whatever. Like, you are not going to trip. Adrenaline is going to be going. It's going to help you keep up that speed. You are not going to trip, because you know if you trip, you are screwed. Completely screwed. You're not going to do that. So why they have people do it in movies when and you know what's funny? I think when they started making movies, a lot of directors would be like, we wanted to make it like really close to how someone would act in real life. I'm like, someone's going to trip when they're being chased for dear life in real life. Someone sees a knife and a stick, and the killer's coming. They're gonna choose the stick over the knife. In real life? Oh, you're lying. Because no one, I don't care how dumb you are, is gonna make any of those decisions in real life. Now, there might be mistakes where stuff like that happens, but, like, in that moment, I feel like you have so much adrenaline and stuff going on that you're not making those mistakes. So, like, I don't know. Good idea. You should do that sometime. I don't know if I'll do it on YouTube, though, because I will actually need to show, like, movie clips or TV show clips of these bad decisions and then explain why they're so bad or why they're unrealistic for someone to do in real life. Coda Leach, he's a guy on YouTube that reviews horror movies. He can't stand the dumb character horror trope. I can't either. It's become like a comedy at this point. Like, oh, horror movie equals making some characters make stupid, over-the-top, unrealistic choices for surviving and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I don't think they're going anywhere, so I just accept them and I move on. But, yeah. If you're athletic and run track and have decent brain cells, you'll survive a horror movie. That's what I'm saying. Because they've even done that. They've done that in movies, in horror movies, like where one of the guys running for his life is like a football player. Okay, those people run. Like, they run. And he'll trip and die. I'm like, you're a runner. How are you tripping? Or like, you know, the killer's in his way, and you know, he's like, oh, I'm gonna try to get past him. And now this is very specific to the whole football player thing, but instead of running towards the killer to get past him and rushing him like a football player does with your shoulder to knock him out of the way, or at least try to get past him, he runs towards him, and when he sees the killer try to move, he like stops in his tracks and either falls or like immediately tries to run the opposite way and gets killed. And I'm like, dude, you're a football player. Rush that man, hit him hard with your shoulder. That's what football people do. Nah, he doesn't. And that's why he dies. And I'm like, bro, these people aren't really football players. There's no way. Because he'd be able to run. And if not, he'd be able to like literally rush someone like that. I'm like, half of these people, you're like, I can't remember. It was a Halloween movie. I don't remember which one. But there was a character that says like, I'm a doctor. Right? I know his mind. Like, he's insane, stuff like that. Literally trying to fight him or bargain with him isn't going to work. And I'm like, okay, we got a smart character. Later on in that movie, he literally tells him, man, like, hey, like, he becomes a pussy. He'll literally say, like, I'll tell you where so-and-so is. Just don't kill me. Like, and he does the opposite of what he said would not work with the killer. He tries to cooperate with him. He tries to compromise with him. And I'm like, bro, weren't you the one earlier saying that shit won't work? And then when that doesn't work, he does try to fight him, and he gets his arm broken, and then, yeah, it's bad. But, like, I was like, dude, you were literally on to something, and then when he's right in front of you, it's like you throw that shit out the window. I was just, like, so mad. I was like, oh, my God. But, yeah. I hate that stuff, too, but it is what it is, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere anytime soon. Or the football player will square up with the killer and be like, I'm going to fuck you up only to make... Yeah. I like the way you worded that, because that's exactly what they would do. And that's probably exactly what they would say. And if they throw a punch, they would hit the killer, and he would just tank that hit. And he'd be looking at them, and they'd be like, oh, okay, you think you're a tough guy. Watch, I got another one. And then he hit him like 1, 2. And then, again, he takes it. And then he's like, okay, I gotta do a bigger one. I'm like, dude, you hit this man 3 times hard. You ain't hurting him. Leave, you dumbass. And then he'll go for that next hit. The killer will literally catch it or like break his arm or cut his arm off, whatever. And then it's over. And I'm like, bro, like, are you serious? At this point, if you see a guy that's almost 8 feet tall, big, bulky, has a giant machete, literally got drowned in the water and somehow he's still walking alive, and he's killing people that are smashing, and he don't like kids, don't make any of these dumb decisions. Like, at this point, like, you know what's funny? I'm surprised they even got, like, 8 or 9 movies out of Camp Crystal Lake, because, like, after the first movie, when, I mean, it's literally been announced that all those kids and people going there, the counselors, were killed, why the following year are they literally being like, Camp Crystal Lake is open? First of all, the people running that are fucked to do that, but let alone anyone seeing that is saying, yeah, we should go to Camp Crystal Lake. First of all, if you're a company, it doesn't matter money-wise, you're not going to say the camp is open now after a killer just murdered all those people. That's one. 2, anyone seeing that isn't going to be so excited to go. No one's going to Camp Crystal Lake after that. The fact, it's just like Friday the 13th. I mean, not Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Just don't live on Elm Street. Because from what I remember, that's why I don't like the Freddy movies, because those don't make the most sense at all. And they're just genuinely dumb. Like, I'll be like, why are you living on Elm Street? Especially when you're about to move in, and a lot of the characters in that movie will tell the other characters, like, oh yeah, there's some strange stuff that goes around here. There's been murders because I guess there's, like, someone attacking people or something, and it's only in our town on Elm Street. I'm hearing that. If I'm moving in and I'm hearing that, I'm finding a different place. I'm not moving in there. Are you serious? And then like some of the people will probably be like, oh, but that's just what people say. It's not real. Then why did you say it to me? If it wasn't real, why did you think telling me, a new person who was moving in when I've never lived here, that would be funny? Like, what the hell? I'm leaving. I'm not taking chances. Like, what? Oh, and he attacks you in your sleep. Bro, just don't sleep. I got I'm stocked up during the day on energy drinks, coffee, all this stuff. I ain't never sleeping. This man can't get me. Or, hear me out, just don't live on Elm Street. Just don't. Like, oh, it's just so ridiculous, bro. Hey, man, to be honest, how do you feel about the A Quiet Place franchise? I think it works good as a horror movie because you gotta be quiet. Obviously, that's the whole premise. But the aliens, or whatever they are, don't really care. I never watched the movies, but I've seen trailers, and I don't want to sit through a whole movie of just quietness. I'm sorry. I can't. And they look lame to me, honestly. I've never watched them. I've seen trailers. I just can't. The only one I was slightly interested in watching was Day One, because that one kind of explained how it all started. And I feel like with every horror movie, that's the most thing people want to know. How did this all begin? How did the zombie virus begin? How did this happen? How did this happen? You know, where did they come from? And I think that movie, I haven't watched it, so I could be wrong, but I think it explained those questions. That's the only thing I cared about. All the others I didn't care to watch. I won't. The game came out, didn't care to play it. Isn't the Scary Movie franchise meant to be a parody on the horror movie trope on dumb characters? It is. It is. And they do it really well. In fact, they'll call themselves out sometimes with certain decisions or mistakes they do in their movies that are exactly like the real movies that make them. It's really funny, actually. I'm like, dude. But I'm going to be honest, the last Scary Movie was a little disappointing. I did see it in June, and it was... I mean, it wasn't the worst one, but it was okay. It was okay. There was a couple good, funny jokes in there, and then some of them were like... I feel like the best ones, though, 100%, if you're going in for a laugh, were the ones they showed in the trailer. They showed way too many in the trailer. That was a mistake. And I think also they had just way too many jokes that all of them didn't have meaning. It felt like they were just there to just be a joke. That's it. Where if you watch any of the previous Scary Movies, they were there for a joke, but they also had an impact on the story. A lot of them didn't with this new one, which was sad. I still would add it to my collection, and I'd still get it, but it's definitely not as funny as, like, I don't know, the first three. I mean, it's not as bad as the fifth one, so, or the fourth one-ish. So that Jurassic Park survival game, do you see it actually being good? Is this the survival Ark or whatever game? I don't, I'm gonna be honest, I've never had an interest to play it, so I can't say. I do like dinosaur games. Like, one of my favorite dinosaur games, it's like... I don't remember what it is. So, it's like... it was like Resident Evil before Resident Evil. It was called Dino Crisis. Anyone who's played Dino Crisis, it's basically Resident Evil, but instead of zombies, it's dinosaurs. The game that came out, I don't know if it was the beginning of this year or the beginning of last year, called Cold Violet. A lot of people were happy and excited for that because they thought it was like a Dino Crisis remake. It's not. It's really clunky. It's like a PS2, PS3 game. It's very clunky. It's bad and stuff like that, you know. That's why I didn't end up picking it up. I was gonna, but I'm like, nah, not for $50. Nope. It's bad. But, you know, that one I liked. I played King Kong on the GameCube, and that King Kong vs. Dinosaurs was fun, so. Photo on Discord? Okay, let me check it real quick, because we're going to wrap this up. Discord. We're going to play a lot more tomorrow. Jurassic Park Survival. Ooh. Is there a trailer or like a teaser trailer for it? I need to see it. I didn't know this was a thing. Let me look at YouTube. Jurassic. Is it Jurassic Park or Jurassic World? I'm just gonna search Jurassic World Survival. Found it. Jurassic Park Survival announcement trailer. This was 2 years ago. Wait, what? I don't know. I might have to see the trailer and see, but I mean, it looks cool. I don't know. I don't really play a lot of games like these. I like survival games. It really depends on the survival game. And I like horror games that also revolve around survival, and I'm assuming with dinosaurs, this is like a horror survival. But when it comes to dinosaurs, I'm iffy. Yeah, an announcement trailer from 2023. I'm going to check it out. And tomorrow, I'll let you guys know what I think about it. Like I said, I don't really play games like these. A lot of people tried to get me into Ark Survival. And I think it was like free on PlayStation Plus one year. And I tried the first one. I didn't make it far. It's very confusing, convoluted. There's so much stuff they throw at you. It's just not a game for me. And the whole building and stuff like that, I'm not interested in it. But I know a lot of people like it. A lot of people are waiting on the second game, but I'm gonna check it out. I'll do my research on it, and I'll let you know, because I haven't played it. Obviously, I don't know anything about it, so I can't say if I think it's gonna be good. I mean, I think it'll sell okay because a lot of people love dinosaurs and survival and stuff like that, and Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. A lot of people like those. I think. Well, the last Jurassic World, I saw the original Jurassic Parks, all of them. I saw Jurassic World, and I have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I haven't seen it yet. And I haven't seen Dominion, and I haven't seen the newest one. I do always want to see them, actually. But then I start thinking in my thoughts, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd go to theaters for them. And then I mean to watch them when they come out digital or online or on streaming, and I just never get around to it. So, I think it's like the same thing with, like, you know, shark movies and all that stuff. Like, they were good when they first came out, but like now they're just like, they're okay, and that's it. You know, they don't really invent the wheel. But like, for me, like I said, I'll do my research. I'll let you know tomorrow what I think of it, but I can't say until I know enough information about it. I mean, it's based off of their Jurassic Park IP. So I'm going to hope they put enough love and care into it to making it good. But I don't know. So I'll do my research tomorrow. I'll do my research today. I'm going to watch the trailer literally as soon as I stop this. And we're gonna check it out and stuff like that. And then I'll probably look up to see what type of game it is, genre, stuff like that. Some of the changes and stuff they'll do. And then I will literally let you know what I think. Based off of all that, I'll let you know, because right now I know nothing of it. That game has been so quiet. It was announced in 2023, but so far it's been very quiet. Well, I looked it up on YouTube just to see if there was an announcement trailer, and apparently there has been news for it recently. So I guess, let me see. I just saw an article on the internet talking about it. Apparently, what was it, 4 months ago? 4 months ago, it was supposed to show up at a university in Texas with a talk session with people there, and they were going to show off some stuff about the game and talk about it, and show images, a little bit, I don't know, gameplay, but trailers and stuff at that university. They got to see it. All that was recorded, though, so nothing was recorded or live streamed. So that's the only sad part about it that I was reading. But it showed up there. The director literally posted, I guess, on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. And he said he was going to show up there, and that they were going to show off to the whole university the stuff that they've been working on. and the university posted pictures of it when it happened, and it was just of like images, so not really anything crazy, and then like images of like the director and stuff like that, the co-directors and stuff like that, in a photo and stuff like that. Basically stuff that you thought was going to come a lot of good stuff about it from, and it just didn't. Now I'm assuming the people that saw it got a lot of information and stuff about it, but the public knows nothing about it, and they're not allowed to talk about it. So that is sad. But apparently that was 4 months ago. That's the most recent update I've seen on the internet talking about it. So it hasn't been that quiet because there was just that recently. So maybe we see it early next year. But yeah, I'll do my research on that. I'll let you know tomorrow what I think of it. But I will wrap it up here today. So we did a quick little intro of Yakuza 6. Like I said, we're going to be playing this again tomorrow. We'll have a lot more time to get deeper into the story. This one is actually very short, and that's just because it's a little bit more easier than a lot of the older games. But it's very short. The story is really good, stuff like that. So I'm really excited to delve deeper into that tomorrow. And then on Friday, because tomorrow's Thursday, right? On Friday, we'll finish up the last 2 stories we have for Marvel Tokon. The Knights of Doom team and the Wolverine, oh, well, not Wolverine, but like the X-Men team. And then we'll take a break on that until I can learn some of these characters and combos. And then later on, we'll do like 1 or 2 videos of online and see if I'm able to beat some people online. And then on Saturday, we'll do Water Park, where I think we're a 4th star. So we need 1 more star, and then we basically got the highest star for our Water Park. So we'll be doing that. And hopefully we can hit that in 1 video. I'm going to try to focus on it. And then we'll take a break on that. Maybe we'll do 1 more video of that afterwards and just see like the crazy stuff we can build and how much money we can make in a day. If not, we'll take a break until they add more new stuff or changes or whatever. And then we'll come back. And then after that, we'll kind of be back to Yakuza 6. But I did want to start this because I'm like, an hour is not enough to get any Marvel story done. It's not really a lot of Water Park either, so I'm like, let's just do this, because I did say we were still going to do this game this month, and we're halfway through, so there it is. A nice little intro. We're almost on Chapter 2. Chapter 1 is really short, but yeah, there's that, and we'll be doing a lot more tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to do my research on the Jurassic Park game. I'll let you know tomorrow. Tomorrow we can also talk more about these horror things, because funny enough, God's Not Dead. I think that's a good idea. I think we should do videos like that, talking about like stupid horror decisions in movies or stuff like that. That would be really cool. Especially for me, a person who loves horror, I would love talking about that. But we gotta think more on that. We gotta come up with more better ideas like that as well. So we can talk more about all that stuff tomorrow. I'll let you guys know tomorrow what I think about that dinosaur game. But yeah, definitely stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought of this. Thanks for the chats as always. I love having these chats with you guys. It makes it so much more fun and entertaining when we can all come together and talk about really interesting topics. So thank you for that. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow with some more Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. So have a good day or night wherever you are in the world. And peace out. I could also talk about all day about Spyro. Yes, you could do that as well. So let me know what you think of all that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Have a good night or good day.